Rams have a bad run defense, and this will segue us into talking about this game. Think should be a good week for Green Bay. Rams are so beat up. I don't have their injury report ahead of me, but obviously offensive line beat up. Puka, Cooper Kupp both out. Cooper Kupp's only not on IR because they already have too many people on IR, which is insane. Like that's actually true. And that was 2 weeks ago. That wasn't like something that just happened. They are destroyed, and their run defense hasn't been great. I will say they played some good running teams. They played the Niners. They played the Lions. I can't remember who they played in week 1, but
that's why they busted up. They played against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, so they played some tough teams. So, but Packers should definitely be able to run against them. The over/under for the game, I just got rid of it. It's in LA. It is the afternoon time slot. The Packers are favored by 3 points. Over/under 48.5. I believe this is the highest the Packers have had all season. It may be the same as week 1, close to week 1. Definitely bet higher than the past couple of weeks, though. Key to the games, I guess. Luke, what's your number one key to the game for the Packers? What do we got to do to get the victory?
I guess I already said it, right? It's kind of stop. Like really, the only thing that scares you on the Rams offense, and it's Kyren Williams. Even with that. Sorry, I'm just reading Tyler's question here, and no, Tyler, we're best run team currently. Even with the Rams injuries on the offensive line, right? Kyren Williams is still produced somewhat well. Like he's major key to the Rams kind of upsetting the 49ers a couple weeks back. And as probably segue into Trevor's point here that you already made, but like if you stop Kyren Williams, you kind of make Matt Stafford a little uncomfortable, right? And a comfortable Stafford just going to tear you up.
That is true. For the rushing stats right now, I assume he was talking about total rushing yards. Even still, okay. Packers are second. But in terms of yards per carry, Packers are third, which is still great. Yeah. Still running the ball very well. But yeah, not the best, but best in the NFC North. How about that? That's all that really matters. Trevor, what's your key to the game?
My key to the game could be get pressure on Stafford because he's too good. But I'm gonna go for a different one. Keep Braden Arvison off the fucking left hash, please. I don't know what it is, but he cannot kick from the left hash. You just can't. I'd love to see the stats on where his misses are. I'm sure he just has an issue with kicking it too far or not far enough around the hash. Whatever. Stop putting him on the left hash and know what your team is. I know you can't go 3rd and 10 around the left hash. Let's run it, give up, and at least we're in the middle. But you got to know what you have. You got to know what you have with the kicker. You got to be smart. Like LaFleur's flag, say what you will about him not getting the timeout. You got to know what you have. You have the ball at the 1, and he gets a flag pushed back to the 16. We got bailed out. You got to know what's going on. You got to be aware. Got to know what you have with kicker. Got to know when's the right time to throw the challenge flag because we always lose that. You can't lose these small things because they add up. And so if I'm the Packers, if I'm LaFleur, don't panic. Know what you have. Don't get in the way because the penalties do it enough. I don't know if that was clear enough, to you guys, but the little things, man, it kills you, and it has killed the Packers all year, and it's got to stop eventually. It has to.
Yeah, Trevor, just to bounce up
too. Yeah, I was gonna build off that too. Enough with the penalties. They're gonna give me a heart attack. Enough with this stupid shit. I'm tired of it.
And Trevor, just to go back to Arvison for a second, don't even give him a chance to score the ball when you're in the red zone. That's been a huge Achilles heel for the Packers this season. They were so good at it last year. You got to score the ball when you're inside the 20.
Yeah,
for sure. Penalties, looking up for the stats, Packers have committed the 4th most penalties per game, 8.5. Rams are 22nd. They only commit 5.5 per game. They've been good. The Packers have committed close to double them. Yeah, I mean, again, Packers just aren't good enough to win games, one, with shooting themselves in the foot, but the offense isn't good enough to sustain drives when they're not on schedule. So if it's 2nd and long, 3rd and long, the Packers need to get 2nd and medium, 3rd and short. That's how they're going to win, because if it gets into 3rd down and long and it's just a 25-yard throw and either it's a touchdown or it's a turnover or it's incomplete, you're not going to win games that way. Like, you got to actually put yourself in good positions to succeed. And you have to not throw a temper tantrum if the ref doesn't call your timeout. And you have to do little things like that. You got to look like a winner, act like a winner, and you'll be a winner. Tyler gave his 3 keys to the game. Love the participation in chat. 1, run to win. 2,
sure.
Zach Safford.
For sure.
3, protect love. Number 4, I'll add this for him. Kind of seems self-explanatory. Score more points. I guess yes, if we do all those, yes. In my opinion, what the Packers will do, maybe they won't. It's Matt LaFleur playing against one of his teams on the road. Rams have beat the Packers or lost to the Packers last 4 times, by the way, but they've all been at Lambeau. So Packers have really struggled when they go west. Playing at the Rams is going to suck. Yada, yada, yada. Afternoon time slot. I feel like when the Packers get out of the early time slot, they struggle as well. So that's weird. But obviously, both of these teams want to establish a running game. They want to be able to run the ball well because the passing offenses aren't very good, whether it be the Rams' depleted receivers or the Packers having Jordan Love throw the football. It's just not very good. I think the Packers need a pass. This is classic West Coast game. This is, and I'm talking West Coast offense, not location. You pass to get the lead, you run to win. That's West Coast offense. You have to pass to get the lead, and then you control the game, you milk the clock, you sustain long drives running the football. Because I think the Rams are going to sell out against the run. Why wouldn't they? So I think if you try to fight strength versus strength, Packers are just going to not be able to establish a run, whereas the Rams are going to be able to drive down the field and score. And then all of a sudden you're behind the chains again, and you're like, you're screwed. I understand Jordan Love looked good last week in the 4th quarter, but it was a classic Blake Bortles game. He played a lot of prevent defense. He went against a lot of soft coverage. It is what it is. He completed easy passes. That's good. He's not going to get that the entire game, but if they can pass with success when the Rams are selling out against the run, if they can get Wicks involved, if they can get Reed on the edge, if they can get Romeo Dobbs up the seam, then all of a sudden the running game is way easier the rest of the game.
Yeah, the middle opens up.
Right. Josh Jacobs has been fine. He's been terrible for fantasy because he's not scoring touchdowns because the Packers aren't able to finish drives. If he can pass and keep the defense honest, then all of a sudden it's easier to finish drives. You're not relying on the kicker on the left hash. You're not putting your fate in the hands of hoping the other team doesn't score touchdowns instead of settling for field goals. But, I feel like we are getting a little too simple. I feel like both teams may come out and try to run the ball. That's just not going to work, though. Whoever passes to start the game, mark my words, will win this game. If you pass to start the game, get a first down or first drive, you're probably going to win this game. It is what it is. And again, high over under. So if you're going to come out and try to run the football, the other team is going to zoom past you. It's already shaping up to be a high scoring game. So with that in mind, I'll start off the predictions, I guess, this time. So again, Packers favored by 3 on the road. Obviously, that's a very big deal. Usually teams get 1.5 to 3 points for home field. So Packers very favored, 48.5 over under. I'm going to go the Rams win 26-20. I think Jordan Whittington is going to have a big game against Keyshawn Nixon. I think Tutu Atwell, they're playing on the Rams turf. They're going to look very fast. I think Tutu Atwell can run by anybody. And whoever's against Jair is just going to get locked up. And the Rams don't have a number 1 anymore. So now the Packers don't have anyone to key against. So I think Packers lose. But whoever passes first, I think, is going to win. Luke, what's your prediction?
I'm going the opposite of you. I'm gonna go 31, 28, 24, 28, whatever. This just comes down to me, like, who's less injured in this game. I think Green Bay is healthier. I think Green Bay's probably got the collection of better 22 guys right now. So I'm not going to overthink this one. Just give me the better team here. West Coast sucks. LaFleur coaching against his buddy sucks. But it's hard for me to think that the better team is going to lose in this one.
Trevor?
I disagree with Luke. I'm going to go with Zach. I've seen way too many games where the Packers are better on paper and choke, most notably the playoffs. But West Coast game, defensive line has issues. 28-19 Rams. This just seems like one of those stereotypical Packers losses where at the end of the game you're going, oh my God, we got a lot of work on.
Janet, what's your prediction?
I say 28-20 Packers, just because we just came off. Every time we lose against the Vikings, like that's always our weird loss. It's always our weird loss, and then we come back after that. So I think that's going to be a win for the Packers. And also, like Luke said, they just have the upper hand right now because they have less injuries than the Rams. And yeah, I think they're kind of heating up in a sense. And after that Vikings loss, like I actually didn't feel as bad as that I thought I would have that we lost that game. But I think we're just gonna come back this game right now. Yeah.
I do think it's important we don't treat that as a bad loss. Like, I think we lost to the better team. I think it hurts because I think the Lions are very clearly better than us too. So we're competing for a wild card spot with the Vikings or the Lions. But I think there's a real possibility that 2 wild cards come out of the NFC North, given there's 7 teams coming out of the NFC. I mean, it's all in front of them. Packers aren't screwed by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, they're going to have to play a lot better than they've been playing because I still don't think they've played very good teams. So they're going to have to get better. But yeah, any other huge takeaways here or predictions?
No, Tyler's got in the chat. Real question: Does Xavier McKinney get number 5? I mean, if you can make Stafford uncomfortable, he's going to throw the ball up.
McKinney's gotten pretty lucky so far. I mean, we'll see if he continues to get blessed. You have to get Stafford rattled. If they don't get Stafford rattled, man, he's going to destroy this defense. It doesn't matter who he has. Stafford's too good. That's why I don't know if the Packers are the better team. I truly don't. Stafford's so good.
Yeah, when I say better team, I think the Packers have what I mean is a better collection of players right now.
But
probably, but
like, if they don't get to Stafford, he makes everybody so much better.
Yeah, but what if they get to Stafford? Then the Rams are nothing.
That's true.
I think Stafford's the best offensive player.
I think it's big what if either way.
Right, but I think Stafford's the best offensive player, or the best player in the game, really, I think. Number 2 best offensive player, I think, is Kyren Williams. I think he's better. Packers, who is it? Josh Jacobs or is it Jaden Reed?
I mean Jaden Reed for sure.
Okay.
I think it's Reed.
Like, it's a lot easier to get Kyren Williams the ball than Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
They're both very good. But I'm just saying, like, and then all of a sudden you have these guys that play really complementary roles. DeMarcus Robinson hasn't had one of those games yet. Like, how many times have we seen guys get behind the defense over and over again against this Packers defense? So, I mean, we could see that. And did you watch the Rams last week? We have this. I did. I saw who the Rams played. They played the Bears. I've seen that. Like, I don't know.
We can't base it off that game.
No, and the Rams are a different team at home. We're talking about the Rams team. Did you see them the last time they played at home? They beat the 49ers. So this game, I think, is truly up in the air, man. Who shows up? And that
right
afternoon time slot scares me.
On the show, it's 50-50, so it's
It
definitely
is 50-50. Yeah. I think it should be a pick'em game. That it's going to be a fun one, I think. And it's going to be very important. This game's more important than last week's, in my opinion, for playoffs, like wild card positioning. I think we're going to be competing with the Rams. If the Rams lose this game, they might as well not bring Puka Nacua back or Cooper Kupp, probably. It's going to be a tough hole for them to climb out of.